TGIM. Thank God it's Monday. Welcome to another episode of the Stoop Radio Show right here, live on blogtalkradio.com. You know, one of these nights, I want to pick somebody to be a host and co-host alongside Jewel, because I want to hear all the sound effects that come on the show on the other side while the music's playing. Jewel lets out this big, I'm laughing. Great stuff. Everybody,
Live.
let's say good evening to the lovely and talented Miss Jewel Tatey. Jewel, good evening and welcome back for another episode of The Stoop.
Good evening, Jeff. How we doing?
We're doing great. We are so excited to be here tonight, as we are every Monday and Wednesday night. But very excited tonight for a couple of reasons. Number one, we're going to announce a couple guests that are coming on in the near future, a couple that we just spoke to over the last few days. We have an awesome guest this evening. Our neighbors from the north, Canadian band, The Dead South.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh, yeah, big smile on Jules' face. Jules' main man, Mike, is a big fan of these guys. Turned Jewel onto him. Jewel was able to speak to a couple of guys, and we have at least one of the guys on tonight. We don't know how many guys we're going to have on. We'll have at least one. Their music is very different and very unique, and if you're listening in tonight, check them out. The Dead South. It's a Canadian band, bluegrass folk music. Jewel, I know you're big on it.
Oh, yeah. That's my... No, I couldn't be more excited. I'm flipping out. I love these guys. Anyone that I turn on to their music is complete instant fans of theirs. I mean, you just have to rock out to it. It's just down home, good music, and they're amazing live as well. I would love the chance to see them live. So I'm super excited to talk to these guys tonight.
Absolutely. And speaking of live, we will talk to them about a tour that's going on. They're going to go to Canada, through the southern part of the United States, England. So they're going to be all out there, and it's fun. It's fun music. It's kind of like bonfire music. Sit around a fire and listen to these guys play some tunes, slug some whiskey, and have a great old time. We're going to do something like that tonight. We're going to drink some beer. We're going to listen to a couple of tunes. And we're going to talk to, like I said, at least one of the guys a little later on the day, The Dead South. Very excited. Let's thank our guest from Wednesday, rapper Du Karan. Great show with him. He was great. Funny. Music was good. Telling stories about the dirty backstage host. Funny stuff. What'd you think?
Yeah, and it's fun because he's right there. He's right on, like, the precipice of his career, and it's just exciting to see a young guy like that really getting his start and getting his footing and keeping his head on a swivel at the same time. But he's going to do great things. And, we wish nothing but the best for him. He's a great kid, and, he's a definite friend of the Stoop.
Absolutely. Did I hear somebody on the Stoop say the precipice of his career?
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
Weird.
Bringing in a whole new class of people. The precipice of his career. Yeah. I don't even know what the hell that means. I'm like trying to look it up, but I don't have enough time.
Please don't. No fact checking here.
I know, but you trust me, the vocabulary is really limited. The other day, at my regular job, I told a customer I was able to accumulate the parts she needed, and my whole coworker team went absolutely ridiculously laughing. Accumulate, and I'm like, all right, shut up.
Oh my God!
I
said a big word on the last show too. I'm like, I never freaking say that. I think it was like, come to fruition. I'm like, I never say that.
Yeah. You're just trying to embarrass me, and that's okay. That's what we do here on the Stoop.
I'm trying to embarrass myself.
I'm good at embarrassing myself, as we will talk about it shortly as we when we review my wonderful NFL wildcard weekend playoff picks. But before any of that, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. We like to do a little thing we call the top 5 list. And we pick categories, and we tell you our 5 favorite things or 5 least favorite things, whatever, from these categories. And tonight, in honor of our northern neighbors, the Dead South, top 5 Canada things. Whether they were invented in Canada or invented by a Canadian person, or if they're Canadian, whatever the hell they may be. Jewel gave me the one finger as if to say, yep. This is a tongue-tied teaser. Never mind. Top 5 Canada things. I will go first, Jewel.
Thank you.
Because I know you said, my God, I'm having a hard time coming up with it. But if you Google Canadian things, it is amazing how many things.
I just wanted it to be the right
Yeah.
things. It's not that I love Canada, so I just wanted to get my personal favorite things
Oh,
about
I
it.
don't. These are probably insulting. If the guys are listening to the show, they're going to laugh at me when they come on. But
Probably.
anyway,
Yeah.
my top 5 Canada things. And number 5, of course, is the delicious and refreshing Canada Dry Ginger Ale.
Is that even?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. No?
Okay.
Anyway, Canada Dry Ginger Ale. The original origin is from Canada. I read into this, trust me.
Okay.
But
Let's
it is
hope.
the only. It is currently the only ginger ale made with actual ginger still. So it's one of my favorites. That's number 5. And even if it's not truly from Canada, it says Canada right in the name. Number 4, Trivial Pursuit. That's right. Apparently, Trivial Pursuit was discovered and invented in Canada, or by a Canadian.
Wow.
So that's pretty awesome. I used to love Trivial Pursuit. Everybody loved Trivial Pursuit. Remember the big lines at stores going to get it, and people were crazy about it. And I always loved it. I wasn't good at it, but I liked it.
Little pie pieces.
Yeah, little pie pieces. 6 pie pieces. Number 3, it wouldn't be one of my lists unless I mentioned hot, sexy chicks and 2 of my all-time favorites from Canada, the gorgeous Mia Kirshner and the beautiful Emmanuel Tricky. Oh, my goodness. I mean, God bless Canada for these 2 absolutely lovely ladies. Mia Kirshner was my favorite for quite a while. Love it. Notice the trend of the dark hair and the sexy cheekbones and all that good stuff. So, 2 wonderful imports from Canada. Thank you. Number 2, number 2, Molson Canadian beer. Now, good can of Molson's
Good
always
one.
good. You know, I know. We like beer here at the Stoop. And Molson Canadian's good. When I went down to Florida a couple years back to visit my wife's aunt, they had tons of Molson Canadian. I drank plenty of it that weekend. Made me a big fan. And number 1, it's so easy. Number 1 is so easy. I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to say it. It's hockey. Hockey. I absolutely love hockey. I'm a hockey fan. I'm a diehard. I love watching hockey. I like the Canadian teams. I like hockey in general. My number 2 all-time favorite sport, right behind football, and it's close. I love hockey. That's my top 5 Canadian list. Like I said, any Canadian out there listening will probably strangle me for such an embarrassing list. But, it's quick Canada to me. Jewel, I hate to tell you, you're up.
You just reminded me of 3 other things that could have been on my list.
Like Canada Dry,
French
right?
culture. Yeah, hockey. I played ice hockey for a little bit. So, but they did not make my list. Oh, and Robin Thicke. Robin Thicke is from Canada. He used to be one of my favorites.
And top 5 things we hate about Canada.
Robin Thicke's good. He made a bit of song, but we can get into that later.
If Bieber is on your list, you're out of here. Just tell me.
I guarantee no Bieber is on my list. I don't even think Canadians like that he's from there. Okay, number 5. The Swedish Fish Factory is in Canada. Another favorite. I love Swedish fish. Just the red ones, though, because I don't like the other colors. Maybe an orange here and there, but definitely no, green or yellow. Swedish fish, it's one of my faves. I love
good stuff.
The licorice.
Love the Swedish fish.
Number 4. I've never been to Canada, but it sounds so beautiful, and I would love to venture there one day, and especially growing up with all of my favorite John Denver songs describing the beauty of Canada, Cold Nights in Canada, and Jasper, Alberta, and Icy Blue Winds. So it's just all very seemingly scenic and beautiful, friendly and lovey, and I just would like to live there, but I can't. So John Denver definitely painted a picture of a beautiful Canada for me. Number 3, did you know, fun fact, that Calgary, Toronto, and Vancouver are the most livable cities in the entire world?
Wow.
They have low crime rates, stellar education, and one other thing, awesome culture.
Mia Kirshner? Oh. What's awesome. Calgary, Toronto, and what was the third?
And Vancouver.
Vancouver, wow. That's great stuff there. Great facts.
Yeah.
She does her homework.
And so that's my number 3. Yep. And number 2 is half of the world's population of polar bears reside in Canada. I love polar
Wow.
bears. I would love to see
Doesn't.
a polar bear from afar, maybe behind glass, but I would love to see some polar bears in action. I went to the zoo this summer, and there was one sad polar bear just, sleeping. And, yeah, it'd be fun just to see him out in the open. Not that I would want to get close to one, but
I hear.
I love polar bears.
Yeah, from a distance, I hear they're not trainable. I heard they have a mental function in their brain that they can't be trained to be tamed. I don't know how true that is. So, from
I
afar,
assume
yes.
so. They're wild, and they spend a lot of time in the water, so they're crazy, polar bears. And number 1, this is on my list of cities to live in because it has the beach, the mountains, and the city all in one, and it has a big French culture, and I'm big on the French culture. I always wanted to go to France. I took like 6 years of French, so I would love to visit Montreal,
Very nice.
and that has to be my number 1. And it's not too far, it's right up there if I ever
North.
get there. Yeah,
North.
because it's
Right up
right
north.
north. So yeah,
Great.
those are my
North.
top 5.
That's a good list. Yours is very well thought out and very well researched, and mine looks like something you got on the back of a bubblegum wrapper. Called 5 Quick Facts About Canada. Did you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, night and day, and I'm surprised that Mia Kirshner was not on your list because she certainly was on mine. Let's rehash a pair of top 5 lists. Our top 5 favorite things from Canada. Number 5, mine is Canada Dry ginger ale, even if it's just a recipe or the formula or whatever the hell it is. It's got the logo on it. It's Canada Dry. Number 4, Trivial Pursuit, by a Canadian, discovered in Canada, however you want to say it. Number 3, my lovelies, Mia Kirshner, Emmanuel Tricky, the loves of Canada. Number 2, Molson Canadian beer. Molson is Canadian beer. And number 1, of course, hockey. Jewel, number 5, awesome top 5 pick right here. The Swedish Fish Factory. No, it's not in Sweden. It's right there in Canada. Number 4 is the beautiful scenery. Number 3 is, of course, the 3 of the most livable cities, Calgary, Toronto, and Vancouver. Number 2, of course, is half of the amazing population of the wild and dangerous, but also beautiful polar bears. Number 1 is just flat out Montreal. That's it. She's just boom, Montreal.
Yep. It's my number 1. I will live there one day.
Yeah, I hear it's gorgeous. I heard the whole just continent, if you will, or country. I gotta check myself. Continent, getting ahead of myself. The whole country is absolutely beautiful, and I would love to check it out sometime. Definitely up for that. And the portion of Niagara Falls, all that good stuff. I'm a big fan. Like I said, yeah, I like hockey. Also, that's kind of like a given. But I like seeing different things. We did get the message from Jewel that tonight we will be joined by Nate, Scott, and Danny. All the Dead South. Let's hope we all learn how to take our turns and talk because we get.
Yeah, I think they're used to it though.
Okay, and that's good stuff. We've done dual, we've done threes before. If
8.
you're a long time listener, if you've been listening to us from the beginning, you of course are there for our Molly. I always forget this band's name. I can't believe it.
Molly Rhythm.
Molly Rhythm. I don't know. I always forget that. Molly Rhythm. That was a disaster. There's 8 people talking at once, and me and Joel. So it's like 10 people talking at once. And you know what? I don't want to start any rumors. I'm going to say at least 4 of those 8 people were stoned. At least.
Possibly.
And they all kept saying
no
it. So
judgment.
Yeah. No judgment. I'm jealous I wasn't one of the 4. But, no disrespect to my parents. They both passed away, so I can now say that on occasion, I do more things than just drink. And that's hard to believe. It's hard for my wife to believe. She says, all I ever do is go out and drink. I'm a fan, I tell you.
I'm a fan, too. You know what? It's my twist of choice, if you will.
It's your thing.
Yep.
Is your thing? You know, you're getting too cultured for me. It is my choice of twist, whatever the hell you said. I'm like, it's your thing. It's your thing.
We see it for 9 o'clock. I try to be
Yeah, it's true.
pro in the beginning.
I go full shit show from like the second we kick off till till the end. Oh God. So last night, getting some topics. Last night was the Golden Globe Awards.
Mhm.
And of course, everybody's talking about Oprah's big speech for her Cecil B. DeMille Lifetime Achievement Award. People cried, people cheered, people laughed. Deborah Naval Longoria calling out E! Entertainment for fair pay and fair rights for their crew and some of their live acts and interviewers. But the big thing that's coming out now is Oprah for president. Jewel Tatey,
Oh.
help me out. Help me out on Oprah for president, please.
I mean, she would get the majority of the vote, possibly. But
She would get like 90% of the vote.
Oh yeah, and I want to say Oprah is America's mom. Everyone loves Oprah. Even if you try to hate Oprah, you have to love her. And
No.
I mean, I love her. I agree, she has no political background, but nowadays that doesn't even matter. I mean, The Rock is going out for president too, so it's going to be interesting. That's all I can say. But I love Oprah. I loved her speech. What I saw of it, I didn't see the entirety of it, but the Time's Up and the Me Too, and she has her own history of sexual abuse, and all the women rallied last night, and I thought that was pretty cool. Everyone wore black to just show their support for all the victims and the people who couldn't speak, the women who spoke up anonymously these past however many months, and it was just really it was powerful. And I mean, I'm a fan of Oprah. I don't know where this will go. I hate politics so much, but I think she's a great person, and that's all I have to say about that great woman, Miss Oprah. You get health care, and you get health care. I heard someone say that. No, get health care.
I'm not a big Oprah fan, but I got to tell you, it would be a runaway, especially if ran against Donald Trump. We know the story. I'm not anti-Trump, but then again, you said not being a politician. Neither was Trump. Neither was Howard Stern. Remember a couple of years back, Howard Stern talking about running for president, and I tell you what, he probably would have won. And Oprah Winfrey would win, hands down. And so many people would be running to work with her that we would have probably a pretty good cabinet. And, issues would arise. That's neither here nor there. We don't know if she'll do it. It's a pretty big job. But the buzz was out there today, and I didn't want to curb the rest of your topic there, but I had to get out Oprah for president because everybody's been talking about it all day long. It's been such a big thing. I'm not a fan. I don't want to run my country. I'm sorry. Heard about the thing in Italy with the store that she threw a fit that they closed at 6 o'clock when they were supposed to close, and she made the store up, whatever. Then again, when the Stoop goes to the O Network, I'll be a big Oprah fan.
We hear she cut back her portion. She is still CEO, but she sold most of it. But you can't judge her on one thing. I mean, Trump's had how many failing businesses. I'm just saying, she has a lot of people who respect her. That's it. I mean, if she runs, it's probably not even going to happen.
It may not, and it's a lot, especially for somebody with so much. That was part of Howard Stern's problem. He's looking at the money. Donald Trump, kind of looked at the money, but said, I keep my salary. I don't need it, which is good and all, but tough job. I wouldn't want it. I think she's doing an okay job. I wouldn't want it. Yeah.
Can Michelle Obama still run?
I think she can.
See,
I think she can. My wife, they said my wife watches Scandal. And the president now is no longer in a house, and his wife, who they got divorced from, is now president. Oh, it's weird. I guess she can.
No spoilers. I'm never going to watch it.
No spoilers, and neither am I. All right, so we can do one of two things right now. I would rather do the first thing, because if we do the second thing, it might take too long, and I don't want that to be. And that's my NFL playoff wrap-up. I would rather crank out a song from the Dead South, young men we got coming on tonight. These guys are really good. And we're going to go right to the one that sounds like a George Clooney movie. It's called In Hell, I'll Be in Good Company. Sounds it sounds like a George Clooney movie, doesn't it? But it's a great song. This one is fun, and it's got a great beat to it. It's about 4 minutes long. It is our guest tonight, the Dead South, and here is one of their big hits, In Hell, I'll Be in Good Company, just like me and Joe will be. We'll be back to you in 4 minutes. Positively, yes, 100%. I'm telling you, I'm not just saying that because they're coming on tonight. That's great music. Little Canadian bluegrass folk. In Hell, I'll Be in Good Company from 2014 already. Wow. from tonight's guest, Dead South. We're going to have Nate Hiltz, Scott Pringle, and Danny Kenyon on us very shortly. Cool stuff. You look at the list, you look at like Wikipedia, and they play the mandolin, banjos, cello, some whistling. It's great.
Guitars, everything. I know. It's the perfect mixture that makes for some kick-ass music, and I'm just so happy they decided to come on our show, and we are huge fans here, so we're excited.
Yeah, like them a lot. Like their music. We got another song coming up a little bit later called Boots. That's a fun one. A little more fast-paced. It's a goodie. And it's great. It's funny reading up on these guys, and they said they give a lot of their credit to punk and punk influence. So can't wait to ask them who some of their influences are and some of their favorite bands, because that's pretty wild.
And a little metal in there too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very cool. If you see these guys, they're totally cool looking. It's like Amish meets Slayer. I mean, they've got like these big long beards and like big caps on. Like they got a little Amish look, a little badass too. You can tell they're fun guys. Very excited to have them on tonight. If hell breaks loose, who cares? That's what it's all about here on the Stoop Radio Show. So now it's like they'll be here around 8:30. So we got 3.5 minutes, which is perfect for me to quickly run down my disastrous NFL wildcard weekend. Remember last year when I was perfect? Went all the way to the end, picked the winner. I was this great prognosticator. No, you don't remember. You weren't here for it. Because this year is goddamn embarrassing. And I'd like to go on, but I think we're already for our guest. I believe. Let's check it out here. The Dead South. Gentlemen, are you with us?
Yes, you are.
Good evening, guys.
Hey, guys.
Welcome to the Stoop Radio Show. We are so excited to have you on. How you doing tonight?
Right on. Great. Thanks. How are you doing?
We're doing great. It's super cold down here in PA, so I can imagine how you guys are doing up there in Canada. But we want to thank you for coming on. We have Nate, Scott, and Danny. Guys, let's start right off with questions. Where did the name the Dead South come from?
Well, we used to have a drummer way back in the day, and he came up with the name one time. He said, "Let's call ourselves the Dead South," with an S at the end, and we dropped that because we didn't like it very much. It sounded too much like Dead South, something like that. So, we dropped the letter, we kicked the drummer out, and then kept the name.
All right.
Awesome. And how did you guys form? I read that some of you guys went to school together, like early grade school, high school. How did you guys get together and become the band that you are today?
Yeah, actually, we were friends, or the three of us have been friends since we were about 5 years old. We went to the same kindergarten all through elementary school, and we've been playing music together for a long time. And so the Dead South had a few other members, and they left. And so Nate and our former banjo player, Colton, kind of got together, and then Scott and I joined, and now we're kind of how we are right now.
Very
awesome.
Cool. And we like it. So in reading up on you guys, you said like some punk music is influential to you, some metal music. Who are some of your influences, like bands that are out there today, and who are some of your favorite bands, and who do you kind of take yourselves after?
Take yourselves after. I don't know. That's kind of a tough one, but I mean, they're still kicking today. I don't know. Who are some of your guys' favorites? Like Old Crow Medicine Show. Like when we were first starting out, I was listening quite a bit, and Trampled by Turtles, and some of the old school guys too. But I mean,
the Devil Makes Three.
Yeah, the Devil Makes Three for sure, definitely. Yeah. But I don't know. Like in general, I kick it a lot back to like. I listen to The Doors a lot.
Awesome.
Still, and Nirvana and stuff like that. That's kind of a lot of our realms. Like Danny still listens to a lot of classical music.
Yeah, it was Colton, the former banjo player. He was quite the metalhead too. He's where a lot of the metal influence in some of the part writing comes from him.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool stuff. We like it. I mean, all kind of influence you can kind of see. In reading, they said you guys are kind of what they call fearless, and you have so many different avenues and angles in your music. It's very unique and very creative. What goes on in your creative process? Like, how do you guys come together with the sound, and who does what in making music?
Yeah, that's a good question. When we first all started playing this style of music together, none of us had really ever played this kind of music. We'd always had either electric guitar hands or drumsticks or something growing up, and Danny had obviously played the cello all his life, but we'd never played bluegrass or country or folk music before, so we kind of just took what we did know how to do on other instruments and applied it to these acoustic instruments, and what came out is what you hear now, and we don't really know how we got there, but yeah, we're still sort of figuring it out.
We're glad you're there.
Yeah, no, it's been a ride. But
So,
I mean, having now played with a lot of other bluegrass bands, and country bands, and folk bands and stuff, we're learning the traditional ways and kind of working ourselves backwards now and learning some of the old tricks.
So are you guys like way more comfortable on tour now? Like, you've been touring. Can you talk a little bit about touring back in, like, when you first got signed in 2014 compared to today?
Yeah, touring changed a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like, when we first started, we didn't know how to play sober because we were just nervous all the time. We didn't know how to go and play in front of people. Yeah, so that was actually a trick. When we started playing on, like, early morning radio shows or the news or any early event, obviously you shouldn't, and we weren't drunk at those times. So those were our first, stabs at it. And I was actually saying this to a crowd in Toronto the other day. I was like, I remember one of the first times we played sober in front of people, like, and I was in the corner puking before we were playing, and the comfort level wasn't quite there, so we had to build that up. So touring now to what it was is the comfort level is just growing and growing and growing. Once you play to a couple of full rooms, you start to just feel their energy and thrive off of them. So
yeah, it's funny. We go back in time, and it's like we'll go get wasted for a show, play to 5 people, and now you step out in front of a crowd of 500 people, and you're dead sober, and for some reason you're more comfortable than that. I guess that just comes with time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a difference. You got a big tour that's pretty much kicking off now. You're going to do Canada, some U.S. states, Europe, England. That's pretty big stuff. Are you guys prepared for this kind of big outing? Is this your biggest tour yet?
I'd say we're kind of just in between tours right now. We recently got off of a month-long tour in Europe, which ended with a few shows in Canada. But now we've actually got a week-long festival on a cruise ship called the Rock Boat Festival.
Nice.
And then about a month after that, before we head back to the States for a full tour of the West Coast and all the way down to Texas and then back up through Denver.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I'd say we're well prepared. We've done 3-week to month-long tours before, but we're excited to check out some new cities in the States. We're really, really excited to be touring down south a little bit more now.
You have to come to the East Coast after the West Coast.
Yeah, got to come to the East Coast, definitely.
What have been some highlights from the tour? Like the last leg of that tour.
I'd say one of the highlights from last tour was playing in a lot of places we'd never played before. I mean, we also had our biggest show to date on the last tour. We played in Berlin to about 1,600 people.
Wow.
They came up to see us, so that was really nice.
Yeah, that was surreal.
Yeah, it all kind of blends together after a while. You just keep going, and you don't remember how long ago that was or exactly what cities you were in sometimes.